a lot tonight for both sides.
3 over 5 inside the centre square at the moment. Matthew Carr runs out. There's Fraser. Wind blowing up. The umpires this evening, Margetts, a local, Chamberlain and McInerney. The biggest man on the ground, the biggest man in the competition. And one of his stars, Nick Revolt. Friday night football under the bright lights here at Subiaco Oval. The opening bounce, Rucks go at it on the way down. Sandilands perhaps. Lenny Hayes immediately into the action. Immediately they test that shoulder.
Well, they'll be doing that. He's been under a cloud. A lot thought it was a bit risky, but he's right to go. He could have actually played last week.
Virtually a sellout, big crowd, then arriving crowd. Down goes Attard this time, and the ball again in the hands of the umpire. Good night, very still. Might be playing footy. Sandilands, Headland couldn't control it, spills out of the congestion. Mundy picks it up, runs inside the centre square, gets a hand pass away. Sandilands, Headland goes down towards half forward. The pitch is just outside the 50. Campbell appeared not to have the football. So too Gilbert. Play goes on. Blake to Gwilt in desperate trouble. Hand passes out of bounds. We've got a throw in. And no doubting there where he wanted to go.
It's a really good start. Just looking at the bench, Pete Collard, the new player, Crowley and Thornton. They'll get their opportunity.
So Thornton's in and Webster out. No Warnock and Peak coming back. So they're the changes for the Dockers tonight prior to the match. They're the umpires. McInerney, Margetts and Chamberlain. Belted away by Sandilands. Water underneath it. Headland's hands look good. To Bell, to Pavlich at half forward. Goes to full forward. Tarrant gets back and marks brilliantly. The Saints were disorientated, weren't they?
Yeah, it was. They got out in front. They were very wary of Tarrant actually leading up the ground. And we'll have a look at it here. Pavlich just got it into the hot spot. Always dangerous going into tall marking forwards.
Only player on either team tonight who's kicked a goal in every match so far this year, and he's missed. And that's a let-off and a bad start for Tarrant.
Well, he had that last year too, didn't he? He missed a lot of easy shots on goal. And the Collingwood faithful were just about sick of it by the end of the season. The Dockers too, they won't be happy with that. Needs to kick those goals. Scoreboard pressure is so important in tight games.
El Santo short to the pocket. Harvey. Baker, good to see him back. After being one of the bad Baker boys. Gwilt. Gilbert is short. Some risk involved. Now he can come longer to Attard. Spots him and brings it out towards the 50. Attard's away. Pursued by Cook. Gets away easily enough. Del Santo over the top. This is Hayes. Running it up towards the wing. One bounce. Looks in towards half or too much carry on the kick. Fowler working behind. Easy. Headland. Hayes will be back in the team tonight. Up the loose. Penetrating kick. Campbell. Running alongside. Unfortunately, it was Sandilands. Comes to Black. Black was forced onto his right foot. Bad hand pass. Hayes will be keen to make amends. Finds a way through. Gets a hand pass across to McManus. McManus kicks inside the forward 50. High ball. Hands in the air. Coming back. Gilbert missed it. Loose at the back. Spinning out of trouble. Del Santo did brilliantly. Got it to Gwilt. Gwilt comes to Burse. Burse in the back pocket. Gets a hand pass away and they can run it out. This is ball. Plenty of support. A wave of sights. Doing pretty well. Mundy got a hand to the football. Deflected it. Harvey comes away. Beautiful pass. Revolt plays on. This is Hayes.
Busy early Hayes. Garrett on the burst. Good kick.
Beautiful transfer by the Saints there. Garrett worked really hard, but criticised for not getting enough of it. But the run of Harvey and Hayes just setting up the Saints, and Fraser had plenty of space to work into. There's one out inside the 50. Good lead, good kick, good mark.
What about the class factor there, Ox? Harvey, Revolt, Hayes, Garrett. Now Garrett hasn't kicked a goal outside of Melbourne this year, and he, like Tarrant, has missed that one a little bit harder. No goals in Brisbane and none in the wet in Adelaide against Port Adelaide. But
on the short pass to Sandilands. Plays on immediately. Bell just got away from Gilbert. Goes down towards half-court. Pavlich on the lead. Pavlich inside the forward 50. Down towards full forward. Wilt flicks it away from Tarrant, or did he? Yes, he did. He got a touch on that ball. Tarrant claiming, I think, it was untouched. That wasn't the case. So behind, Fremantle lead it by that margin.
Just a couple of matchups, Dennis. Pavlich is being picked up by Fisher. Tarrant being picked up by Gwilt. Baker and Bell going at each other, and Revolt's being picked up by Don.
Difference in Kilda tonight. They're freewheeling at the moment. Johnson went down. McManus. Got a hand pass, or was it a throw? Called a throw by umpire Chamberlain.
So Walter's free kick. Another interesting one, Ox, is that Burse is playing as a forward but as a defender on Monday.
Yeah, good move there.
So Revolt again to Harvey. Just how good has Harvey been in 07?
And exceptional.
About as good as he's been for 15, 16, 17 years. Here's Burse. Ex-doggy. Hayes, very prominent early. Sold the dummy. Goes for goal. Good looking kick. Is it? It's at the post.
The post first, bros. It came off the post first, and then back in your hands. It's back here. Thank you.
Well, could have phrased it a try, but certainly we'll have a look.
Do you reckon he knew?
Of course he did. There you go, hit the post. Good on you for trying. Lenny Hayes, 3 touches already, Bruce.
2 of them effective. Missed his target with the first, but he settled quickly. 2-all here at Subiaco, all square.
Interesting start, end-to-end stuff. McFarlane out of the back pocket. Clark from behind knocks it wide. Del Santo close to the boundary line, touched off the boot, diving at it. Harvey somehow found the ball on the ground and immediately attracts a crowd.
Now the Dockers, they've found the matchup that they like in their forward 50. Tarrant on Gwilt, they'll get it into a one-on-one on every opportunity. They like that matchup when the ball goes in long and high.
Bounce it half forward then. Hooked out of there by Kozetzky. Slapped away by Evelyn when he finds the boundary line. In fact, the Sandilands doing the hard work. Did very well.
Some really good matchups going on out there too. Garrick's now been picked up by Grover, and Cossey's been picked up by McFarlane. And Aaron Sandlane's no surprise, getting his hand on the ball early also.
There you go. Clark knocked it down as if on cue. He got the best out of him. There goes the kick back towards midfield from Solomon, marked by Fisher. Across the ground, here goes Revolt, just slipping away.
He's working hard too, Dennis.
Brought in the wing, goes inside the forward 50. Kozetzky pushed to the back in any case, takes the mark 60 metres from goal. Plays on immediately. The Saints moving it quickly. Long down towards full forward, almost mark off the ground, nil. And he just misses over high.
What's been said about Milne and Garrick and how they start and how they kick goals away from home. They both look pretty sharp here tonight.
8 and wide. If you have a look at the stats over a long stretch of time, it's not quite as bad as it seems. Milne, for instance, averages almost 1.5 goals away from Victoria, averaging 2 in his career. So not quite so bad, but not good here at Subi. Here's Black on the burst. Now Black's almost within range. He's at 55. It's a great looking kick. Hopkins touched it. He needs to kick the goal now, and he's missed. I think it was going through.
I think it was too. He lost his GPS.
A couple of times the ball's gone in and they've been disorientated. Both, not only the Fremantle Dockers, but also the Saints.
Pensive, Chris Connolly. Lee Fisher runs it up. Wilt, right half back. With a problem now. And passes it to the ground. Solomon swoops to Bell. Bell runs inside the forward 50. Catches them on the rebound. This is Cook. Not the most reliable kick goal.
Well, you turn it over there and you're just asking for trouble. Well, he had an option, should have given it, didn't, and you pay the penalty. The Dockers working pretty hard. The Saints have just got to believe in what they've got. Get the ball moving too wide to slow it down.
Troy Cook. Any score leads right here. Cook comes in and kicks the goal.
Good pressure there by the Dockers. I'll be delighted with that. We saw a photo before just of Chris Connolly. He was pretty still. This is what coaches get excited about. They love forward line pressure. They work on that all week. And turnovers there scoring from. He could finish it off like a good goal kicker should.
Cook back in the team. Look at the clearances with the Dockers. Cook kicked 3 against the Crows earlier this year. So Dockers dominating the clearances. Certainly always gives 100%. Sanderlands out of the centre. Card got the first touch.
It's trapped underneath him.
No Josh Card tonight. Or Sloan. He's got a strong backbone, but he would have needed it in Melbourne this week. He's been...
The umpire's down.
He's up in a hurry. He's been forensically investigated this week by Sloan, but he stood up pretty well.
Well, Ricks has come onto the ground. He's taken from Clark.
Sando gets it from Ricks now, and then goes out very wide. Not a particularly good ball. Did well there. He had Johnson running hard at him. Burst to put the tackle on, but he gives the free kick away. It was an awkward tackle.
Just lazy, Bruce. Had to get down, get low.
So McFarlane from half back. Dockers with the only goal. Cook the goal scorer. He's kicked 6 goals so far this year. Just his 4th game. McManus, he got 3 Brownlow goals the last time these two played. Good looking kick to Mundy. He loves to attack from half back. The kick to forward. Campbell set himself. Free kick to the Saints to Blake.
You've got to have more care, mate. That's his head. Fly on.
Saints very happy there. Will, one up from Fisher. This is everybody. Hazelby leads back in the race. Gathers forward at the wing. McManus. Hazelby inside the forward 50. Hangs a long time in the air. Well done, Fisher. Knocked it away from Cameron. Solomon to Hedlund. Lines up from 50. Telling kick. It's a beauty.
For the second time. Just have a look at this. The ball came in, and the umpire goes down. He's back up. Nothing in that. Hazelwood came inside, and front and square, Dean Solomon, who after giving away a free kick, redeemed himself and did what his side needed. Gave it off. That's how you answer the critics.
Hedlund loved to play a big one at the opening of the Indigenous round, but he scored the goal. Fremantle away now. Hazelby important early, 5 disposals. Back in the team, late withdrawal last week against the Cats. Hayes has been good, hasn't he? To Baker. Baker's wobbly kick is difficult. Revolt almost. Dodd did well. And then Mundy to McFarlane. To McManus has also been finally early. Tackle on a long, long lead. Goal. Good.
Well, that's the matchup we're talking about. He's turned it over twice. Crook coming out of 50. They've realised hasn't started well. They're going to his opponent every opportunity they've got.
So goes into McManus with a handball, and then McManus to the pocket. So they haven't been direct here. Cook to try and brush off the tackle from Dal Santo, who's playing very deep in this opening quarter. And a boundary throw in. Dal Santo sweeping a bit at the back at the moment and getting a fair bit of the footy. So right forward pocket, Dockers in attack.
Brilliant. Someone's got the ball. Who snaps and gets their third.
We're talking about set plays. The ball comes in, Sanderlands. He's up against Rick. Set play. Coaching staff will be that happy. The tallest man on the ground gives it to the shortest man on the ground. And delivers the goods. Peter Bell. What a marvel. What an absolute marvel. He liked it too. He liked it a lot.
Peter Bell, 5 possessions and another clearance right there. Inside 50, 7-4. Back in the middle, Fremantle flying out of the blocks then. What will the Saints do next? Interesting question. Hayes, who didn't have the football. McManus had him by the arm. Armitage. Arm came up from Solomon, and the kick is going to Gilbert.
I think he's wound up tonight, Dean Solomon. I think he's pretty excited to be out here.
Well, I think we'll hear more about that one as the ball comes down towards half forward. Rebound, juggled attempt at the mark, but back after it in the opposite direction. Milne did brilliantly. They needed some luck, they didn't get it. It's out of bounds. What do you think, David?
Let's have all trouble. Don't want to put players in, Dennis, but it's pretty clear by the vision.
I think so. Trouble starts with T, rhymes with P, which stands for pool. In trouble is Carr. Ball on the line. It's out of bounds.
We're keeping up with you, Dennis. Don't you worry about that.
Well, tell me about it.
He's had an interesting start, Dean Solomon. Given away a couple of free kicks and been involved in one goal.
Kaczynski doing a bit of the ruck work. They need a goal. Milne's got hold of the footy.
He started really well when he Hayes for a guy that came in with a suspect collarbone. You wouldn't know it. He's an absolute marvellous player.
So Hayden out wide to Carr. Dockers feeling pretty good right now. Took a while to get there first, but they've rolled on to three.
Well, they've got to back down the hatches here. The Saints just can't let any more goals be scored. They've really got to knuckle down.
McFarlane switched it to Hayden. Now Johnson provided the first lead. Campbell provides another one. No one's come to Hayden yet. He's got to centre wing. Has he run out of ideas? Not yet. He just goes around Reba. And he keeps on going. And then goes to full forward. And unfortunately, didn't finish off something that I was starting to get very excited about.
He's top of legs.
So often that happens, does it not? Searching run, tight kick. Armitage out of the back pocket. This is Blake. Right half back. Blake kicks beyond the wing towards half forward. Ricks in front. Three cuts forward. Equal to the task. Wants to cross the boundary line.
Well, that was the right effort to go to Ricks. Sanderlands is off, and Ricks a lot taller than what Peake is, so probably a good matchup. Peake did a wonderful job to get it over the boundary line.
Margin 18 points, boundary throw in. Ricks decisively got it down to Hayes to Del Santo. Breaks inside the centre square. Good looking kick just wide of the mark. Spills wide of McFarlane in turn. He goes out working in front by Milne brilliantly. A couple of times in a tight situation. Diving on top of the football down there was Bell. And I think Bell's going to get the free kick. He is. Crowd love it.
Call for legal disposal on Milne. He's been on the bad end of a couple of calls, holding the ball, and now a throw.
Just setting up at the moment. The Dockers just waiting for a loose player. Pretty hard to defend such a big ground. No, wait. Wait for leads to come. You've got to work hard. There's one.
That's a good kick. Lovely kick to Pete. Important player, Pete. Thornton's handball. Well done by Carr. Very up the ground's got him. A long time, Carr. Not beamed. Brought down. Gilbert was very good. Crept in again, like the warrior that he is, and then he comes to ground, and it will be a ball up. Contest the ball, well done.
I think the umpire summed that up well. It has been a good contest. It was hot. Saints just need to win the footy through the middle of the ground so they can give their forwards an opportunity.
So Johnson does the ruck work, and Hazelby is having this big opening turn. Pavlich just stuck his rear end out and held his ground.
Too strong. Too big. Hard for defenders now. Very hard for defenders once that front position's taken. If he judges it well.
Big war because Clayton Pollard's come on for his first run. As Pavlich lines up, will kick from about 54 metres. Great looking kick off the boot and going home.
Wow.
It's just a super kick, isn't it?
He's a good player. He's one of the best, in fact. And Hazelby, you pulled out last week. Such an important player. They're killing them in the clearances at the moment. But what a wonderful player. What a wonderful leader he is. Good players kick those goals. And he knew that was important. He'd come to play here tonight. The Dockers, Saints got to weather the storm.
Matthew Pavlich, wonderful kick. Young man making his debut tonight. Clayton Collar, a famous footballing name in Western Australia, fitting in the Indigenous round. Play restarts. Kazitsky won it down. Crowley, Bell involved. They win it away once more. Slick hands from Hayes will be in there as well. This is Black. Runs down towards half forward. High ball towards full court. Ball in front of back. Johnson. So Johnson able to go forward for one moment in the centre. We predicted him might be the man to help out Sandlands. Next moment, swooping down the ground and taking the mark on the forward line, just 25 metres out, and a chance to stretch this lead to ominous proportions.
Well, it's obvious they've been told if you've got a mismatch, go forward. Stephen Baker on that occasion, he's never going to be able to outreach Michael Johnson.
Michael Johnson. This will hurt the Saints. They put a throw. They've got their fifth goal, 5-3 to 3 points.
And the reason that happened, another clearance by the Dockers, and they're getting the ball in, and the teammates know that it's going in. Too much time and space, and Johnson's got a wonderful lead. Stephen Baker will back all day long, but when you're a foot shorter, wonderful play.
It's a big play, isn't it, as Johnson now goes off. What a statement he just made a moment ago. Dockers 5-0 against the Saints. It took Hawthorn a long time to get 5 against the Saints last week. But the Dockers are right on top now. And first quarters have not been their strength this year. Crowley's handball. Now Sandilands running down. Chopped off by Harvey. Here is Sandilands. Goes to full forward. Bouncing ball, and Blake in his 100th belts it over the line. Dockers kicked 8 goals against Port in the opening round here and lost, and the only other time they've been in front of quarter time was against the D's at the MCG.
Well, Blake's had to move. He's now picking up Tarrant, which after Gwilt's start, that had to be done.
Gilbert in the back pocket then. Bad start by the Saints after a bad week. High ball towards the wing, almost the mark there to ball.
Robert Harvey.
Fiora. Harvey has hurt his leg. Appears to be a knee or hamstring. That's right. Meantime, caught in the play. Baker kept it going the Saints' way. This is Fiora once more. Gets out of trouble. Miscues with a kick down towards Revolt. The service to Revolt is shocking so far. Over the top, Dodd comes back to Revolt. Quick hands. Here's a chance now for Hayes. Can they get their first goal? No. Behind to Lenny Hayes.
Well, the story is now Robert Harvey, hamstring. Have a look at this. Yeah, he knows straight away. Another shocking injury for the Saints. And that is unbelievable, unbelievable.
It sure is. Black to full forward. Tarrant went early.
Hand on the back. Hand in the middle of his back. In the middle of his back, mate.
Well, it couldn't get much worse for the Saints right now, could it?
Oh, Dino. Dino.
No, shocking, shocking. And Ross Lyon, he'll be brave about it, but free kick there. Front position once more. Tarrant and both Pavlich are causing major headaches for the Saints defenders.
Missed an easy one early in the match. In fact, the first shot of the night. Doesn't miss a second time. 6-goal opening term.
Wow.
Well, it's a good challenge now. It's a very, very good challenge for the players out on the ground. A guy that has done so much for the St. Kilda Footy Club over a very long period of time. If we watch that ball come back in, Robert Harvey is the heart and soul. Players now need to step up for him. Need to step up for him and show him what he means and the jumper means to the other players out there.
Ricky Olorenshaw down on the boundary.
Well, as you saw, Robert Harvey's very distressed with that left hamstring injury. I think it's going to be a 3 or 4 weeker at least, just either way. He's carrying himself on the bench. You see him there go down with that left hamstring. He's played every game this year and every game last year, and he's their leading possession getter, so he's a big loss for them. It's something they just don't need at this stage of the season.
What about this margin? 36 points then. And Fremantle looking irresistible. And it's starting in the middle with their ruckman. Sandilands decisively. Crowley, Headland out of the congestion. They're on a roll again. It's like a runway in there. Great attempt at the mark by Sam Fisher. Came back to him quickly from his namesake. Down he went. Fremantle relentless. And it's going to be a free kick to the Saints. So St Kilda with a lot more familiar names back tonight. Last week they read like the register at the No-Tell Motel, but despite that, they've got their problems on the scoreboard again. In fact, it's worse tonight as ball goes to the outer side. This is Fiora, putting it down towards half-forward. Rebold, pushed in the back, I fancy. Or is it a throw? It's going against Rebold.
Thank you.
He's had poor delivery tonight so far. It's only early on. But that was a throw. Umpire in good position.
He just really has to impose himself on this match. Mundy did very, very well to McManus. To Crowell, to Peak, I should say. Just thinking of Harvey, next week he was going to be just the 10th player to play 350 games. It was against Geelong in the twilight. He's sitting on 349 tonight.
It is an amazing run that St Kilda are having. It truly is amazing.
So Black gets it from Sandilands. Good looking kick by Black. Well done, Hayden. Arched his back, goes to full forward. Almost. Headland with a chance. Dizzy did really well. Still with Headland. Gets around Brook. Back to Pavlich. That's where it started. Deserved a goal.
They can smell blood here. Fremantle, they have got a fair dinkum sniff.
Gee, Hayden was exciting in the middle of the ground, wasn't he?
Was just had to hold him up. The Saints did. Unable. They really need some cool heads here.
Hold it right there.
It's a bit early to go with this, Dennis, but the Saints' average losing margins this year is actually greater than Richmond's, believe it or not. And Richmond got beaten by 157 in one match.
I'll be pleased with that stat. There goes the high ball outside the defensive 50. Sandilands brilliantly done. Got rid of Clark, then marked it. McManus. Whoops. Wow. We did a Dick Cheney. Hit somebody in the head from 10 metres away. They skirt the perimeter. Michael Johnson, 52 metres out, goes for home. Offline behind.
Quarter time can't quick enough for the Saints at the moment. They'll go back in. They'll need to regather. Not the start that they would have liked, but they'll see one of their champions on the bench, Robert Harvey, and just look into his eyes. Each player needs to just lift for him.
Those eyes, eh? The Demons had them in recent weeks. Drilled up towards the wing. Fisher spilled it. McManus taken down. Fisher goes again. Here's Gilbert. Gets a hand pass away. Ball. Boss goes over the top. Running hard as Burse. Clever kick Burse. Sets up Gearing being held. Must get a free. More the kick than anything else there. Gearing was always in pole position.
Well, you kick it to a big forward's advantage. He holds his ground. And that is exactly how the ball should come in. Kick it to where the space is, and that's exactly what Burst did. Good kick.
That's a very good point, David, because people constantly say a 50-50 contest. Well, is there any such thing on a football field? No. Always somebody's got the advantage, and if you've got time to kick it to advantage. Gearing comes in. There's advantage in that kick. They've got their first goal. About time.
Good confidence booster there for the Saints. They got the ball on. They worked it pretty hard. And it doesn't matter who's defending any player. If you kick it to his advantage like that, unless the defender does an exceptional job or the forward's not thinking, always going to win the free or take the mark. Gee, they needed that. Bit of hope, bit of optimism.
Gary gets the goal late. Docker coach looks on. Can the Saints carry any momentum at all with the half a minute remaining into this first quarter, into the break? That goal does help. through the centre. Hayes, who has done very well in this opening term.
Fine, not coming out. That's it, boys. Desi, Luke, I'm right here. Thank you.
Geez, some midfielders now have to lift for the Saints.
Same again. Hi,
One down.
Give me a free
Just
roll,
another great challenge for the club.
They just love a midfielder to kick goals as well. That's one thing they've really struggled with. Armitage, Gilbert, now to Burst. It was his good kick a moment ago. Off the ground, Revolt, misses ball, has been quiet. Back to Revolt, back to ball. Free kick to Revolt.
Nick Revolt, got a trip, mate. Just pipped in.
So time the danger now. Can Garrick take a mark? Revolt doesn't know, but the clock's against him big time.
Leave it on, Nick.
Sam Gilbert's got the footy in hand.
Right here. That's it there.
Kicked a couple against the Blues at Telstra Dome on a Friday night.
Well, if he kicks this,
You cannot play on.
it would be a wonderful kick. Just put Sandilands in the goal square. That'll help.
Not bad.
Was a good kick.
Didn't quite go all the way though, but it's been a Dockers first turn and a shocking first turn for the Saints with Harvey's injury and a quarter time at 6-6 to 1-4.
Great start by the Dockers. Not over yet.
I don't know how long he's going to miss. He'll get assessed tomorrow, but Robert's been there before. He's very depressed at the moment. You're probably looking at least 4 weeks with him, and at his age, turning 36 later this year, it takes a lot longer to get over.
Fair to say too that Subiaco Oval has not been a happy hunting ground for Robert Harvey. Played some wonderful games here, but also has taken some injuries from contests at this ground.
It's always the good ones.
Second term, 6-6-1-4. Saints getting a reprieve late with a goal in the last couple of minutes. Need a lot more. Brilliantly done. Sandilands down to Hazelby. Headlands kick towards half forward. In front Pavlich. Used some strength there. Didn't complete it though. Attard forces it forward. Diving in Blake. Bell took him high. Blake will get the free. Hazelby's lightning hands around those centre bounces, capitalising on the good work from the big guy. Blake out of defence to the wing. Clark, good mark. Ball is running. Going down towards half forward. Luke Ball, a couple of bounces. 75 metres from goal. Almost in slow motion. Sets it up. Gearig's in front. Lurking behind Grover. Loose ball. Armitage took a swing at it. Mundy was there step for step. Neither one really much purchase on the football. Armitage missed it behind.
Play on.
So McFarlane, McManus, and then Hazelby, who was very good in the opening term. Back to McFarlane, to Grover. One of 6 Indigenous players out there tonight for the Dockers. Cleverly done to Hazelby. They've run this with handball to Thornton, to McFarlane, to McManus, still by hand. Back it goes. Grover. Awful looking kick. The irony in all of that. Gary could have given off the handball. He's at 50. Lines the mark. It's close. He's just missed. Well, he had Milne running past him.
Got to back yourself in there, Bruce. Bell just a little bit sloppy there, but don't blame Fraser for that at all. Really good pressure on the Saints, or for the Saints, on the Dockers coming out. And Grover just turned it over. Good play there by Garrick.
McFarlane in the pocket. Got it from Hayden. Rather gentle lead up the ground. Comes from Grover. He's got the ball right on the defensive 50. 42 plays 12. Grover takes off across the ground. Needs some distance on this kick intended for Hazelby, who came to meet the ball. Marked on the defensive 50. Up towards the wing. Pavlich outmaneuvers Fisher.
So strong once he gets that front position.
A long way from home. Matthew Pavlich. Tarrant comes on a searching lead. Terrible kick from Pavlich. Out of bounds on the full. That makes it hard. Most unlike Matthew Pavlich. Off the side of the boot. Blake to Ball. Across half back. Little chip over the man on the mark. Baker.
Just got the wall set up here.
Gwilt.
The Dockers.
Now Clark. The defensive side of the wing. Hayes wants Gwilt. They've used him as a decoy, now forced to go back across the ground. Gilbert goes short to Sam Fisher, stretches, takes the mark.
Did it well, Dennis, didn't he? As he goes down the line to Armitage. Armitage, the survivor of those that debuted last week against Hawthorn. Revolt. At 60 metres, centering kick, not bad, and Kazitsky's got it. It was a searing kick, wasn't it?
Well, St Kilda fans have been waiting for that for a long time. Revolt to Kazitsky. And Armitage, nice kick, almost touched by Pavlich. He's a smart player, Pavlich, just guarding the mark really well, but Kozzy, that's a beautiful mark. Needs to kick this for the Saints and for his own confidence.
This to close the gap. Kazitsky from 40 metres out, coming back. He's got it.
And just watching the kick in flight, had a bit of left to right, but really good work there by the Saints. It was Lenny Hayes on the half-back line that actually got it out. He decided to play on. They hooked it out wide. If you take a risk, if you're willing to play on, and sometimes you don't know what you're doing, things appear, things open up, and it did for the Saints. We saw that left to right.
Justin Kazitsky booting the Saints' second goal. This time last season he was recovering from a fractured skull. Chris Connolly has won 4 out of 9 against St Kilda since taking over in 2002. 4 of those games decided by less than a goal. Sandilands deftly got it down to Bell, and Bell got the forearm up, I fancy, and it's going to the Saints.
Good ball, Belly. He's fed him high, push him high.
No harm in trying.
That's good. Just it.
No doubting this.
Just confused a few there. The umpire just pointed the wrong way, but quickly sorted it out.
Gilbert goes down towards half forward. Revolt is there, pushing the back. Hands in the back against Dodd. So the Fremantle fans finding something to complain about.
Well, they got one up the other end for exactly the same thing in the first quarter. There we go. Yep. Right in the middle of the back. No real push, but the interpretation is if you have your hands in the back, regardless of your push, it will be paid.
Revolt.
You can just about kick this.
Right half forward. Searching kick, but very deep into the pocket. Armitage spilt it. Goes again. Gets a hand pass across. Taken by Voss, who snaps and hits the post. Ooh, a half chance, and suddenly they look better.
Super crumbing there by Armitage. Only played a couple of games, but the raps on him are enormous. We saw him up in Cairns and he got plenty of it. He knows where to be, where the football's going to land.
High draft pick, taken at number 9.
Yep.
Headland's been good. Kick to centre wing. Gwilt did very well against Campbell. Cook attacks the footy. Hazelby talked a lot about him so far tonight. Kicks to the forward half. Solomon and Fisher together. Del Santo, and then Carr was being just held on to. Cook towards the line. Just kept it in. Probably not the right thing to do. Del Santo cleverly. Saints enjoying a good patch here, aren't they?
Yeah, they're attacking. They're believing in themselves. Hazelby, though, Bruce, as you said, getting plenty of it. 5 disposals in the second quarter alone.
Sure about that. Kozzy to Hayes. Then he finds some space. Revolt the target. Can't quite get there. McManus stood his ground. So the Saints doing the attacking and doing the scoring, but here's a chance. Carr to Headland.
Headland Mitters in the clear ahead of the play. He's at left half forward. Goes long down towards full forward. Gwilt is outnumbered. It was 2-on-1. Deep in Fremantle's forward line. Tarrant's taken the mark. Acute angle. Tough kick for him. About 25 metres out.
Thought it might have been a free kick downfield after Des Headland was just given a bit of attention by Stevie Baker.
See the angle, Tarrant going at his second.
Oh, wow.
Matches his opening kick of the night when he missed comprehensively. He's done it again right there.
He gets the yips occasionally, Chris Tarrant. If he doesn't kick through the football, that's what happens. He has dropped that from shoulder height. Got to guide the ball down. He has got a high drop, but needs to get that down lower.
Well, current Collingwood players and ex-Collingwood players having trouble kicking for goal right now. Revolt in the centre square.
Give me two! Stay it! Play on now!
Getting a fair bit of it, Revolt in the second term. Wobbly kick, Gehrig's attack was good. Gehrig sitting on 499 goals. Voss, still with Voss, to Fraser, did well, to Revolt, goes back. Now Sam Fisher, who's about 90 metres from goal, kicks inside the 50, Hayden and Milne, and McManus pretty happy to see it over the line.
Well, that's the problem when Gehrig and Revolt are getting it up that high on the ground near the wing. They've got no one to kick it to. So they've got to have at least one get out. If that's Kazitsky, they've got to start in the goal square.
That says something. The Saints having a very good period in this game. Voss goes down. Rover, Johnson over the top. Cook released into space. Running up towards half back. Thought about it. Clever kick coming out. McFarlane pushing up the ground. Back towards the middle. Needs to be precise and was. Solomon inside the centre square. Carr is breaking for him. Kick goes in that direction. Carr takes the mark. 55 metres out. One-on-one at full forward as Bell runs inside the 50. They lead towards him. Long kick goes in as a result, and Bell's got another one.
Oh, what a little champ he is. It was Matthew Carr, though. He worked hard to find the space. Lenny Hayes couldn't go back with him. Peter Bell, what a wonderful finisher. He kicked a couple of goals last week. Got the 3 goals last week down at the Cattery. Oh, and he loves to celebrate. I don't know what move that is.
I think that's the Harley Davidson move.
He's really loosened up, Peter, hasn't he?
He has.
It's a wild thing right now. 7-6 to 2-7. So Bell with a couple. 3 in the last quarter against the Cats last week, so can't stop kicking goals. He's got 5 in less than a half a footy.
Knock it out, Paul! Well done!
Hazelby on the bottom of it. It's been really good, Hazelby. Gilbert, promising player, just shrugged his opponent off. Did very well. Milne up the ground. Takes Hayden on. Backtracks Hayden. Brilliantly done. Peake, Gilbert. Good tackle again by Gilbert. Back to Hayden, liked his game. Mundy, Bell, good umpiring. Hazelby again. Solomon, Crowley, bouncing ball. Dal Santo to sweep on it. So the Saints with a chance here. Dal Santo's probing kick. Good signs by Kazitsky here. Gehrig on the lead. Goes towards Revolt in a one-on-one.
Oh.
No free kick. Oh, gee, stiff.
It's a good thing Nick didn't have a glass jaw. Well, terrible kick coming out. Still a chance for the Saints. Burst, missed Cook. Here's Bell again having a wonderful game. The phantom bell ringer amongst us. Reload free kick, advantage is paid. Blacks away, storms around the outer side. Former Saint, beautiful kick, wonderful defence. Wilt right there with Collard, able to get a fist on it and get the ball out of bounds.
Well,
almost holding initially. And there.
well, Revolt's got a hold of his shorts too. Probably the right decision.
Umpire Schwartz has spoken. Sandlands, Hazelby left without it. Attard got through. Burst in trouble, taken high by Black. Black was a bit stiff there because Burst slipped.
His head.
His head.
Yeah.
No doubting that. Down goes Burst. Paid the price as the Saints muster something around the outer side. This is Milne, takes them on. More endeavour, more enterprise from the Saints tonight, certainly. Gehrig, awkward half volley, never looked confident. McFarlane over the top. Under pressure, Johnson. McFarlane rushes in and hacks it through for a behind.
Stephen Milne is a frustrating footballer at times. He's got to believe in what he's doing. His decision-making is frustrating.
Well, the goose step didn't work there, did it?
He goosed himself.
I tell you what did happen, though. Fraser Gehrig made a couple of Fremantle defenders very, very nervous for a moment there. It's a bad kick coming out.
1 metre, thank you.
So Armitage, who we've talked about, the 18-year-old, debuting last week, wide to Gehrig.
Euros are just saying hello to the Dockers.
That was a bit scary too.
Let's have a look at this.
Mickey O'Loughlin's been there and done that here, hasn't he? So Gehrig. He's having a lot of shots, Gehrig. He's playing very well. He's just not getting them in the right spot. He's kicked the one. He's working hard, the big fella.
Well, he's played a lot of footy over here, hasn't he? A lot of footy.
Star with the Eagles. The leading goal kicker with the Eagles before he went to the Saints.
Ball gets a crumb back inside the 50 off Fiora. Hope he's okay. He landed on his head. Spectacular courage by Bell going back. And that's what Fiora is hearing right now.
Well, no one can ever doubt the courage needed to play AFL footy, because that is a spear mark.
Incredible stuff.
Well, gee, he's a lucky boy.
You can hear some mums around the country humming. Mothers, don't let your sons grow up to be footballers. Hits the post. Halfway up. What a spectacular effort by Aaron Fiora. And Peter Bell, the smallest man on the ground, coming back, sacrificing all. He's been inspirational. And there is a spectacular mark for the ages.
Well, St. Kilda have kicked 2 goals, 10. They've had a run on, got to kick the goals.
Here's Dodd to Carr. Down the line, too far for Pavlich. Still in, but Fisher paddles it over.
The kicking this quarter going to their key forwards has been pretty ordinary. Pretty ordinary.
You're talking about the Dockers?
The Dockers, indeed.
Well, both Heath Black and Josh Carr talked about that during the week. They felt that was their biggest problem this year, that their disposal going forward is letting them down.
It's okay, good footy. It's okay. Roll over, Shorty.
The Dockers are very confident in winning the ball or stoppages because they're pushing their players forward at every opportunity. The Saints get their hands on it at the clearance. They can go the other way and really counterpunch them.
1-6 the Saints to a goal by the Dockers in this turn. Bell playing really well to Johnson. Collard pushed. Tarrant. Well, like Gehrig, Tarrant's in really good nick, but he hasn't been able to convert.
Yeah, well, we know straight away how he drops the ball. Collard took Wood out of the play. Good work. Tarrant sharp as well. If it's not Pavlich, it's Tarrant, which is really tough for defending. Got to keep the ball low, got to guide it to his boot, not dropping it from his shoulder.
4th shot for goal for Tarrant tonight, and he keeps on spraying them.
Got the yips now.
No closer. Thank you.
It's a high drop, isn't it? It's a very high drop. A lot can go wrong between there and the boot.
Hey, Chris.
Mind you, I think Clayton Collard, had he been a 50-game player, might have got a free in that last exchange.
Pushing the back, you reckon, Dennis?
I think so.
Well spotted.
And maybe the ball would have been better in his hands as things are going. Here's Bill around the outer side.
He's
runs
having
into
the
a
yips
dead
too.
end. Just goes across the ground. Somebody else's problem. Del Santo comes back and finds Blake. They reload. Blake across the ground. This is Fisher. Well, to a contest. Well done by McManus. Loves a contest. Lays it off. This is Headland. 80 metres from goal. Pavlich in the pocket. And I've seen him kick a few from here. Matthew Pavlich decides to go back and take his kick. Now this is the area where the Fremantle players, not the Eagles players, but the Fremantle players go off the ground to their rooms. And I'm sure...
So what you're saying, Dennis, every time they go into their rooms, they have a couple of shots from this position?
These are the money kicks, Dave.
All right, we'll see how many times Matthew Pavlich has practiced from this spot.
I'm suggesting he's a money player.
All right.
Coming into tonight, 24 goals for the season. Pavlich comes in, and he's on the money.
Well, they don't call him the king of WA for no reason. I'm talking of Dennis Committee, not Matthew Pavlich. Yet Pavlich is making that gap very, very narrow. Good players kick them, and we saw him kick one from outside 50 before. Just needs to teach his teammate Chris Tarrant on how to follow through.
Well, the captain's kicked 2, and the former captain's kicked a couple as well. I'm talking about Pavlich and Bell.
Cheers. Good on you.
And the lead stretches out again. Got a loose man forward here, the Dockers at the moment. The Saints caught one short at the back.
Yeah, just rearranging now and going back, Lee Fisher.
So all that hard work from the Saints unravelled.
No, strapped in, tackle the Susie, got it, held it in, Curry. Thanks, Luke.
Well, there's only 2 shots of goal difference between the two sides, 14 to 12. But it's a pretty big margin of 32 points.
Yeah, that's the one, unfortunately, that counts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because the Saints have had plenty of it, and they really have dug deep. No one more than Fiora after that remarkable, spectacular, outrageous mark. Revolt.
Drop the arm! Drop the arm! Stephen!
Could he go all the way here? I reckon
He
he
should
could.
just wheel around and go. Don't go to the pocket.
Decides not to. Centering kick, looking for Kazitsky. Good play by Grover. He just got rid of him. Well, maybe I'm overestimating Revolt's kicking, but I thought he could have almost gone all the way there.
Yeah, I think sometimes he's not selfish enough. He's got to believe in his own ability and just go for it. Playing us, have a look at that. Fremantle just turning over. They're getting their hands on it too, but making a lot of errors.
Free kick to McManus. Advantage to Headland. Comes through the back. Black. Headland. Mispeak. Hayes onto it. And then Carr on to Hayes.
You got it. Thanks, lady.
5.5 minutes out from half time, and the margin back to what it was at quarter time. At one stage, St Kilda in this tournament outscored Fremantle 1-6 to a goal, which tells you about the pattern of the game. Fiora seems to be fine, hooks it down inside the 50. Opportunity to get back for Thornton. Third man in the queue, Revolt emerges with a football. It wasn't 15. Milne hasn't got the ball. Play goes on. Dodd gets away. That was clever. Waited and waited. Then found some space and ran away from half-back. Pinpoints the ball. Tarrant will be better from this long-range situation. Not going at goal. Spotted a man, Crowley. Crowley is 55 metres out. Delays the release. Hazelby heard the voice to Black. 35 metres out. Back on the last line, it's Fisher.
They'll be disappointed with that, the Dockers. They had goal written all over that when it was coming.
Crowley's option was poor, Bruce. Just had to get it in.
So Ricks, Tarrant went to ground. Good play at the back again, that one from McFarlane. Kazitsky. Thornton. Back to Johnson. Tackled by Ball from the front. Carr ridden into the ground. McFarlane. Gee, the Saints are keen here, aren't they? They did really well, St Kilda.
Gee, I was happy with Cozzy then. 3 and 4 efforts. Let's have a look at Nick Revolt. He may have just dislocated a finger just when it hit the ground. There he goes. Gee, good vision there to just to pick that up.
Kazitsky. Crowley read it well. Off to Mundy. Hazelby has been outstanding. Black's been pretty good himself. Arch the back, goes to fall forward. Tarrant not quite. Fisher.
Mine.
Gee, I reckon Collard's eyes just went really wide. Then he had a chance, didn't he? The first gamer.
I think Tarrant might have done a finger also. Getting up, holding one of his digits.
Over the top, Fiora looks for the pocket there, found Hayes, Gwilt on the overlap, poor kick coming out, Armitage looking to get away, goes back to Gwilt, left half back, some indecision, here comes Revolt once more, God reaches over the top, a lot of that football shown to the defender, he's able to punch it away.
Let's have a look at this. Milne just having a couple of words to Nick. That's all right. That's all right. They need to do that occasionally.
Just letting off steam, eh? Fiora pulls it back towards the middle. The head of the intended. That was Armitage. Hayden has been good. McManus has been terrific. Finds Black, or does he? No, just short of the mark. Knocked on by Headland to Black. Well, the result was okay. Don't know why he did that. Headland sold into trouble. Coming to meet him was Attard. Taken high was Lee Fisher. And Lee Fisher will get the free kick up from the back pocket. And now momentum has swung considerably. It's the Saints who are rocking and reeling.
Well, he may have been a bit lucky there, Lee Fisher. He went back. He had to make contact with the ball and didn't. He got away with it then.
His namesake Sam, who himself turned it over in his last kick out of defence, finds Blake.
Got the loose now.
Fiora. He's got good numbers this year, Fiora, in terms of average disposals. Kick to Revolt. He's the target all the time. And Dodd having a good match, so Revolt still getting a fair bit of it.
Yeah, but he's getting to the contest. He's presenting, and eventually he'll get some out in front that they can't knock away. Very important clearance here.
Just saw the stat on Hayes. He's had 5 for the match, and 3 of those in the last quarter of an hour. Blood rule, Thornton coming off.
Can't underestimate how important Lenny Hayes is to St Kilda. Such an important player.
Gee, a late goal to the Saints would be handy here. You feel like they're closer, don't you, because of the 2-10 to 8-6. Yep. Crowley on. Let's see if the Saints can do something from a stoppage here, as the Dockers did in the opening turn. Sandeman's just too big and too strong. Just push Ricks out of the way. Gilbert has been pretty impressive.
Back inside the forward 50. Revolt missed that one. McManus lurking at the back. Del Santo tried to go through, didn't succeed. Bell, cleverly. Hazelby. They work it again. Mundy, Solomon runs outside the defensive 50, then kicks it directly to Gwilt. 2 minutes to go in the opening half. The margin 32 points.
Geez, he struggled to hit the target today, Gwilt.
This is Blake, forward of the wing. Sends it back inside the forward 50. Hands in the back, I think, against Dodd.
Your hands right on his back. Work to the ball. He's there in the contest. Hand on the middle of his back. Sturdy, all I'm going to say is, mate, you can't put your hand on his back. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
all right, this rule has got to change. This rule is making a mockery of defenders and forwards. It's a shocker.
Revolt, 35 metres out, has missed. Some justice there. That was a very soft free. It looked like the hand was in the back, but really it was just resting possibly on the hip bone.
The umpires have got to use their nous, and I know it's the absolute rule, but it's not. They're not the fault. They're not the blame here. They're only doing what they're told to do. They're the messengers.
Well, see, I think the rule. Well,
Hayes to cut it off. Then Fiora. So those clangers for the Dockers. Dodd besieged. Well done, Del Santo. Attard can't get it out. He's in trouble now. He was a bit lucky there, Attard.
Great tackle, Dean.
He wrapped it in underneath. Continue on, guys.
I was just going to say, I think the rule is well-intentioned, but we need some common sense occasionally.
So Ricks and Sandilands. Bell. Been brilliant, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Solomon, Hazelby, and then Peake. Important player for the Dockers, Peake.
Dangerous.
Crowley went with one hand and gets the free kick, and now McManus on the burst.
So no one forward here, the Dockers.
There's Johnson, loops it over the top. Headland taken down, tries to dig it back to McManus, didn't succeed. Now I think he may be knocked off for holding it. He is.
Not trying to knock it out at all, Des. You're holding it in, Des.
Baker wastes no time to Gwilt. He's had some problems tonight deciding what to do. No problem that time. It was a no-brainer. Attard, interference this time on Revolt against Mundy. And I think that roar from the crowd suggesting they think, at least the umpires think, that Nick Revolt is a protected species as the ball goes inside the 50. Not sure that's the case. Half time at Subiaco Oval, and the Saints have shown a lot of aptitude, but still they trail 54-23.
Specky in that first half and thought he was an acrobat there for a minute, landed on his head. He did speak to the physio a couple of times during the second quarter, but he's all okay, and Fremantle have a clean bill of health at this stage.
And a lead of 31 points, Rick. It was 32 at quarter time, 6 goals in the opening term. Third quarter, Subiaco Oval, Friday night football. The Saints with a lot to do. Wide of the pack, Sandilands goes after his own hit out. It's in there somewhere, and it's not coming out.
Don't push him, thanks, Aaron. He'll
Paul
get up on his own
Hazelby
accord.
outstanding, 20 possessions to half time, 14 hand passes.
Clarky, where's the footy? Where's the
Rio
footy?
bench, eager to get into the action. A lot of ball to share in that first half, apart from the opening 10 minutes of the second term, and the Saints were good. Coming over the top and slapping at goal with Fremantle. Here's Hazelby again. Well, he went a full revolution. Bell claiming he was held. Hayes in the opposite direction. Ball finding a path through. Well done. Gilbert. Ditto. Gets away from half-back. Searching kick towards half-forward. McFarlane did brilliantly. Takes the mark, dropping back. Wants 50, nothing doing.
Well, that's what we're talking about, advantage. Put it out in front, not on top of his head.
Collar on the wing. On debut.
So his first possession, he is a goal kicker, an exciting youngster, just 18 years of age, big stage to make your debut. Back into Black. McFarlane's been good, that's his 16th disposal for him. Headland, it's been busy. Neat kick, inboard. That man again, Hazelby.
Jeez, plenty of it.
Goes to full forward. Adard getting back. Gwilt there with Tarrant. Still Tarrant, well done. Adard got hold of him, and then Voss to Gwilt. Gwilt running out of options. Just double checking.
What?
Thanks, Chris.
There was only one thing it could have been.
He came from a long way
Give me a
away.
meter, please. Matthew! Matthew, give me a meter, please. Thank you.
So Fisher deep in the pocket.
That was the ultimate wilt trip as the ball comes out of defence, knocked down by Clark. And Clark fell over. Del Santo off the ground. Socket forward by Carr, close to the boundary line. Fisher, did he get into the back of the Fremantle player in front of him? Apparently not. Solomon picks himself up.
Dived under his legs.
No back, he
dived under
says.
his legs, took his own legs, Sol.
Heard the explanation, albeit brief.
Hang over the shoulder.
Now there's a free kick going to Clark.
Clarky.
And 50.
Hayes. Quite obvious.
So it's incumbent upon the player to realise who was going to get the free kick here. Well, not much doubting that, I guess, but now and again those ruck infringements do confuse us, and maybe Paul Hazelby was confused. In any case, the 50 sees Clark kick it from half-back. Revolt gathers the bouncing football, goes to Baker. Baker, the short pass to Fisher. Fisher running down towards half-forward. Not a good kick. On the bounce to Geary. Forces him against the boundary line. Goes with the right boot. Hangs it a long time in the air. Oh, wonderful courage, Kazitsky. A couple of players not looking at the football, and Milne wants to go on with it.
A lot of unhappy players out there. Kazitsky looking a little bit groggy. Big collision, the ball came in. There were 6 or 7 players converging on the ball.
Kazitsky, as you can see, feeling the effects of all of that.
Yeah, let's have a look at it here. Oh, that's a push in the back.
Well, it's coming back to Kazitsky. A bit happening under the replay. Fiora got a hand pass, but now umpire Chamberlain is insisting.
He just took Michael Johnson's number of the umpire, so he may be reported by the look of it.
Well, it was certainly head high.
And he also got like the slingshot into it too, which just made it even that much worse.
Kazetsky inside the 50, hangs it out to the right. So again, the Dockers could find themselves at the tribunal this week. Gee,
Well, he's in trouble.
Michael Johnson, he kicked a spectacular goal in the opening term.
Good play.
Well done, Milne, to Dal Santo from 49 metres and across the ground for a behind. Ricky Cossie looked pretty groggy, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked definitely groggy. I've been watching for the last couple of minutes too, and he still doesn't look quite right, but they've left him out at the moment. It was right in front of him. I could actually hear the collision. It was bone crunching, and it always scares me with Cossie too. He missed 7 games last year with a fractured skull.
Well, here's a turnover and a miss.
No!
Lenny Hayes from 25 metres out.
That's 3 in a row now. That is 2 goals 14 to 8-7. They've had more shots on goal.
Well, the Saints' last 8 scoring shots have been 8 behinds.
what about that, eh? Lenny Hayes directly in front. Kicked it like Gabby Hayes, who was a great sidekick. On the ball is Ricks, got it out Baker. Down goes Del Santo. Got another whistle and the free kick is going to the Saints. You can't say the crowd uninvolved. They're immersed in this game. Del Santo's got the football. 60 metres out. There's Milne long. That's ignored. Short. And Ricks has taken the mark. Not a reputed goal kicker. He's about 40 out. One in his life.
Just AFL life.
Just undisciplined at the moment, Fremantle, giving away a lot of free kicks. 12-3.
Now, I'm told by Josh, our statistician, first kick of his career against Sydney was a goal. With allegations it may have struck the post. Controversial character. Terrible kick this one anyway. You heard us. Johnson tries to force it back across the line. Dodd to Thornton. Bell comes away out of the back pocket. Back to something like normalcy as the ball runs out of bounds at left half back. Last couple of minutes have been chaotic.
Let's have a look at this. Well, that is awkward.
Yes.
And compared to Chris Tarrant, that was a masterpiece. That was a masterpiece, but more like Picasso.
Burst, and now on the burst is Dal Santo to fall forward. Gehrig tried to get rid of Grover. Grover was good. McFarlane's been great tonight to Johnson. This has been one weird half of footy. I know it's only been going for a few minutes, but it's a strange game we're watching right now, isn't it? Thornton out wide. It's been played in one half, by the way, the Saints half.
Well, it's one-on-one footy at the moment. It's pressure that is turning the ball over for the Dockers. Once again, a player right beside him.
That's hard with Collard, no free kick. Back to Hayes, who's missed a couple of gimmies tonight. Revolt went early, he get the free.
All right, Nick.
Subiaco was given a long time to get rid of it, was he not?
Got to go back. Pick someone out in the crowd. Let's have a look at it. Oh, well. On the shoulder. It's the only thing it could have been. Gee, I'd love to be a forward out there at the moment, Den. Not in the condition, but
You could do it.
If you're pulling on football boots for the first time, make sure you become a forward, because as a defender, forget about it.
Revolt, can he kick the goal? Since quarter time, the Saints have been inside 50, 22-9. With a kick 111 to 2-1. That's a better looking kick. He squeezed it home.
Well, the crowd are happy with it. Happy with the umpire. Well, technically it's there. A lot of the good judges would say, yes, free kick. Docker supporters, not so. But a good kick. He needed it.
give the side some confidence. And Bruce, you're talking about Robert Harvey on the bench. When each player comes up, they'll look at him. We're talking about looking at his eyes and getting a bit of something off him.
Nick Revolt, I think he's had 6 free kicks tonight.
They're coming, the Saints.
Chris Connolly can sense it. 8-7-3-14. That's the story, and some of them eminently gettable. Oh, Clark, quick hands. Blake hurriedly inside the forward 50. In from the side, Revolt had it fisted away, kept his balance and went back to Dodd. Oh, brilliantly stolen away, Revolt. This could be something. He misses. He battled on there, did Revolt, after Dodd had the luck. Here's Bell. Had a wonderful game. Goes up towards the wing. Pavlik, rarely sighted tonight. Takes this mark, the defensive side of the wing, looking back towards the middle.
Had to come a long way up though, Dennis, to get a touch.
He did. The Saints would be well satisfied with that. This is Solomon filling the void.
Pushing forward.
Wheels around. Penetrating kick inside the 50. Tarrant ghosting in from the side. Sandilands trying to work it right to left. It's coming back. So is Wilt. Grabs it right on the line. Brings it away. Blake. Nothing much up ahead. Gilbert is offering. Blake is running. Can go over the top now to Lee Fisher. Back it comes to Blake. Hazelby is chasing. Hayes. Blake. Good pressure from the Dockers. Baker. Push then grabbed. Good kick from Baker. This is Milne 60 metres out. Next link in the chain, very important.
Trying to get it on.
Kazitsky's on the move, but he spots a man in Gilbert across the ground. Goes just outside the 50. Gilbert long and straight.
Well, the Saints are coming. They look tired, the Dockers. Too many players not playing for each other, and at the moment the Saints have got a sniff. And the Dockers did this in round 1, where Port Adelaide came back in the second half. They can't protect the lead. They've actually got to go out and still be attacking.
He's impressive, Gilbert, isn't he? That's a great goal.
Well, he didn't think about it. Just went back and kicked.
And St Kilda closed this to 16 points. It was 38 at one stage in the first quarter. And the Dockers looking a little nervous right now. Saints have been winning the clearances. Headland did well to Peake, and Peake found a way through. So a couple of Indigenous players together on this weekend. Back to Black, to Peake, to Johnson. Johnson, well done to Headland. Can he finish? Back turn. Carr under the pump. Out wide. And then Carr under pressure. Almost Pavlich.
It's hit the post. It's hit the post. It's hit the post, fellas. It's hit the post. Throw it in. Came off hands, and hit the post.
So boundary throw in, left forward pocket. Dockers suddenly needing a goal.
Got a bit of space too, the Dockers.
Sandilands.
There it is.
Over the top by Blake. Pavlich to the opposite pocket. Tarrant working against Wilt. Wilt does well, slaps it out of there. It's coming back though. Cook spots a man towards the middle. Solomon goes back and takes the mark about 35 metres out. Clever by Cook.
Good setup there by the Dockers. They had space away from goal. And a little bit unlucky for the Saints where they tapped it away but had the loose players. Still one-on-one good footy here at the moment. Ross Lyon not happy. Not happy at all.
1 metre break.
There's Solomon. Kicks. That will make him less happy. Straight through the middle being Solomon.
Well, they needed the steady up. The Saints were starting to come, but they got their hands on the ball. And they may have been a little bit stiff too, the Saints, because it just snipped the post. The umpire was all over it, but good play. They kept the ball alive. Tarrant did well there not to lose his feet. and just unselfish play. We talked about them not working for each other on that occasion. Cook, good vision, found Solomon.
Have a look at those inside 50s quarter by quarter. See how the Saints have turned that around.
Gee, some big numbers there for the Saints. They're working harder. They've got Blake in the middle, and they're just trying to nullify Sandilands' height.
Well, the Dockers got one back. Now, the next one's really important. Which way does it go? Sandilands won it. McManus ridden into the ground, no free kick. Burst ridden into the ground, gets a free kick. So Burst away. D'Alessandro cleverly on Carr, and then to fall forward to Revolt. They're just not sticking, but it was a hard one. He had to really stretch. Dodd squeezes it out, cut off by Attard. Saints still real the thirst here, fancying their chances. Bell wrapped up. Let's go down to you, Ricky.
Well, St Kilda have gone very tall up forward. They put Cozzy, Ricks, Geary and Revolt all inside their forward 50, trying to just stretch Fremantle's defence.
Nick Revolt has been so close to taking so many marks. He's got a lot of free kicks, as we know, but he's just fingertips away from really having a big impact.
Bell off the ground, his 16th possession, not very effective. Attard goes across the ground with a resultant free. Ball, meters in the clear down towards half forward. Revolt again, misses a chest mark this time, should have marked that. Dodd's hand pass comes to Bell on the bounce, goes back to Carr, advantage will be paid. Carr to Black, Tarrant has to stretch, he's got the ball on the wing. Chris Tarrant, only two men forward at the centre for the Dockers, and Tarrant is waiting.
Clark dropped back now into the space. Crowley's just come on, he might spot him up here.
Crowley between the lines, clever kick. Crowley sees Sandilands creeping down towards half forward, leading back in the race. Ball did well, too nimble as you'd expect for Sandilands. Pulls away, Gehrig, a brilliant one-hander.
Good streak there.
Fraser Gehrig on the outer side towards half forward. Revolt loses his marker again. Dodd is feeling it, can't keep up. Revolt to the pocket. Kazitsky couldn't hang on. Del Santo gets the crumb and bounces it through for a goal.
Gehrig's strength in the middle of the ground to get the ball on. Revolt is working like a centre-half forward should, and Ricks just gave a contest, and that's all he wanted. Del Santo knows. Del Santo knows where to go, and a beautiful kick, which made it through by the skinniest of margins. Oh, he's a clever player. They're right in this, the Saints.
Was a clever kick. They needed a good break. You talked about Gehrig. Luke Ball at centre-half back was just brilliant there. Against the flow, a ball that was going to Sandilands, and he has had the courage to run onto it and create something from the back.
Baker just giving Des Headland a little bit of curry.
So the Saints continue to come here. An exciting game of footy. Stakes are high. Dockers 3 and 5, Saints 4 and 4 going in. Campbell hasn't been on the ground too much since quarter time.
Trouble.
Mine. Thank you.
Let's have a look at this. Did it hit? Whoa! No. Gee, I was riding that one, Dennis.
What a great shot. Judge. Burst to Del Santo. To Burst again. Getting a few touches. Wide to Ball. His second half has been better. High from Headland.
Gee, they're giving away a lot of sloppy free kicks at the moment, the Dockers.
Baker got it short.
Kicks inside the 50 and Revolt wraps it up.
I'd like to know what his GPS is this afternoon or this evening. He has not stopped running. His work rate has been enormous, going for his 19th possession already, and 7 marks. What a wonderful work rate from the...
His
We
best
know how
tally,
good he is.
14 marks. Twice against the Dockers, most recently round 20 last season. He's running Dodd around. That one was flush against the post. No doubts there. And he continues to work. Here's Dodd slipping away. Well done. Decides to take Revolt on. Revolt, though, the master once more. Deflects it back, goes after it. A battle of wills. Dodd tried to sock her, missed it. Hayden. Revolt dragged him down. Over the top it came. Cook and Peake running out of space. Good pressure by the Saints. Boundary throw in.
Just have a look at Nick here. Not happy. Been a lot. But gee, his second effort's then with his smother. Second chase, third chase.
But he's
means a lot.
always a gentleman.
Menace from Hayden. Crowley through the centre. Waits for Black. Sweeps the handball. Mundy's under pressure. Crowley missed it. Bulls had a terrific quarter. Good tackle from Voss.
Messing around with it now, the Dockers through the midfield, where in the first quarter they were so clean, so sharp. They got two forwards that were on top, not getting the ball to them at the moment.
Tarrant and Pavlich we're talking about.
Yes.
Cook dragged down. It was a good tackle. Dalsando. Lee Fisher. Milne. Needs to be clean. He was de Groot on the run. A second bounce. Didn't go the third. Looking for Revolt. It's always looking for Revolt. They've made the switch. Johnson on the Revolt. And now Hayden to come away for the Dockers.
Towards half forward, he'll direct it. Wilt gets across, takes the mark. What an interesting game it's been for Eura. Along the boundary, Revolt has to work again. It deflects off his body and across the line.
Well, he's been wonderful. And we don't have to keep pumping him up, but you've got to admire, and everyone at the ground can see, and we can see at home too, just his work rate.
Lee Fisher slaps it out of the congestion. Johnson to Cook at close quarters. Armitage in the opposite direction. Fremantle free, I fancy. Quite a discrepancy in the free kick tallies. No doubting that he was held a long time. To Carr. Just the one Carr family, the Dockers tonight. Hayden coming away towards half forward. Pavlich slapped away by Fisher, who played it very well, and the ball is out of bounds. Sam Fisher, who made his debut against the Dockers, round 7, 2004 here at Subi, and his first opponent was Dion Woods. There's a name.
We are going down memory lane tonight.
A lot of flashbacks.
Indigenous round.
How'd he go, Den?
He played pretty well, as I recall.
Thanks, Brett.
Who are you referring to?
Both.
Both of them played very well, David.
So Campbell doing the ruck work. Crowley comes over the top. Fiora, Baker, well done. Cook in tight quarters. Still with Cook. Great smother by Ball from Solomon. Fisher, Bell was brilliant. Handball was okay to Crowley. To Campbell, brought down. The tackling by the Saints outstanding. Well,
Never had the footy.
just the second free kick for the Dockers in this term. Just maybe a little too energetic there.
Well, and Ray Chamberlain was just in the right spot too. Heathblake's normally a pretty good kick. He swings it left to right.
Hasn't kicked a goal this year. He's missed a couple of games. Boy, Chris Tarrant's got something going on here, hasn't he?
It has.
I've always been good at stopping them. If I was on Den,
I prided myself on that.
you knew they wouldn't go any well.
Del Santo to Sam Fisher. Heathblake's second time around at Freo. Should have done better there. Normally a wonderful kick. Went to the Saints in 2002. Ball, Hayes. Sam Fisher runs to half back. Through this centre towards half forward. Revolt was that a push in the back? Doesn't matter. Johnson did brilliantly. Took the mark. Hit the ground running. Hayden with support outside. Thought about Hazelby. Now decides degree of difficulty about 9.9.
Messing around with it.
Bell, Pavlich. Long kick inside the forward 50. Going back is Headland. It bounces away and goes out of bounds.
Time to get Nick Revolt up to full forward. Take Johnson out of the play. At the same time, give him a bit of a break because he's been working so hard. Get Garrick up to centre half forward and let the big G train have a bit of a run around.
Throwing in, Ricks. Well, he missed the football. Maybe he knew what he was doing. Fiora at the back gets a hand pass away, or did he? No. Ricky Olorenshaw.
Yeah, just a point on the use of the interchange. Ross Lyons only used the interchange bench 9 times since quarter time. Their usual average is about 14 per quarter, so they're well below average, and this could really test their legs in the last quarter.
Just with that bit of play, Ricks didn't want to grab the ball because of the new rule that if a player grabs it out, he was scared that he was going to get tackled, so he let it go. Probably needed to grab it and have confidence in his ability to give it off.
Well, we saw that Ross Lyon had the phone and he let it go. We're almost. Here's Collard. Steps inside the 50 and gets a very handy goal. Well done, young man.
You'll remember that one. And that's just a good tackle. The ball was thrown in. Ricks didn't want to grab it. And Ross Lyon has got a right to be mad. He's got to grab it and do something. He needs to take control of the footy and give it off. Players who make the play are so much more important than those who don't.
Even if he headed it.
So the 18-year-old on his debut with a goal. The Indigenous players doing well for the Dockers. Cook, Headland, Collard and Johnson, all goal scorers tonight. So they get a bit of breathing space, but there's still plenty of pressure. Sanderland's very high. Bill's been outstanding. Headland wobbles it forward. Pavlich not quite. Gwilt, Tarrant. Well, that's straight. And Collard nearly. Well done by Ricks. And I reckon it's a goal, is it?
No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it went over.
Hey, Rick, clear away. Clear away. I'm quite confident they went over. Did you have a good view of that? Couldn't be certain. Okay.
Well, hit a teammate.
Did you have a view of that? Did the ball cross the line before it hit Dale? I don't think the ball crossed the line. I can't be 100% sure. I don't think it did. You were behind the line? You were behind the line? Are you confident?
I don't know how far behind.
Okay. If we're not sure, we're going to go with the all clear for a point, okay?
Because otherwise it was carried over by the St.Kilda player.
So touch ball, all clear point? Okay. Touch ball, all clear.
Gee, talk about pressure.
That was terrific work too. Collaborative.
Oh, she can't believe it. Let's have a look.
Well, you could see the difficulty the goal umpire had just there.
That's the right call.
Gee,
What was?
well, that's our challenge, Dennis, to work as well as the umpires up here tonight.
Beautiful tag me, Bruce. The old tag team. Kaczynski could have been taken high. Burse has got it. Missed Blake. Ricks feeds it back. Took it that time. Burse. Gilbert gets around the oncoming Campbell. Slips a hand pass to Fisher. Fisher a telling kick inside the forward 50. Revolt manhandle. Comes to Milne. Goes with the outside of the boot. Bounces down towards the pocket and trickles out of bounds. What a game.
Second goose step now for Stevie Milne. That hasn't come off. Roger Hayden getting a lot of it. But Milne just got to be so much better. First option, Milne.
Gearing across the body. It's bending back. Big. Deep in his own defence. Just under 3 minutes till three-quarter time. 23 points the margin. But you get the feeling momentum has shifted to the Saints again. This time they've got to execute. Peake comes away. Towards half-back, McManus, unkind bounce for Yora. Gehrig thought about Fiora, took a while, McManus did well, came back, applied pressure. Hazelby has been brilliant, slipped over that time. Out of the congestion, the kick by Sandilands to midfield. Pavlich battles against Fisher. Fisher generally the master tonight, across the ground. Mundy tracks it, out towards the line, it stays in obligingly. Mundy to Black. Black peels off centre wing. Searching kick inside the 50. Collard thought he was pushed in the back. No free. Over the football Baker. Del Santo finds a way through. Now he's running. A couple of bounces inside the centre square towards half forward. Lee Fisher. In fact, it's Voss out there. Voss has taken the mark midway between centre wing and half forward.
Oh, it's a terrible kick.
Well, they've got to stop going to Nick Revolt on every occasion. Got to mix it up.
Here's another shot of the ball ricocheting off Collard. You can just see the difficulty that the goal umpire had in trying to make the call. Fiora tucked away. Thornton runs him over the line.
Really good matchup Chris Connolly's got with Johnson on Revolt. He's on report, as we know. He copped 4 weeks at the start of the year, and his pace is very, very handy.
Sandilands belts it away. Almost worth the kick. Del Santo and Carr boundary throw in. Well, it's been a terrific match. Such an interesting game. And right now, a goal to the Saints would just top it off to set up the perfect last quarter. Hazelby sits it out for the moment. Had 20 disposals to half-time.
Mine. Sorry, Brett. Thank you.
Well, someone's going to step up. Someone is going to take control of this match. There's a minute left in the quarter.
Hazelby sitting on 26 for the match now. Crowley run down to Cook. Always good in tight and close. Unsure where to go. Gwilt work to the front. Great mark taken by Campbell. That was outstanding. Wanted to go on. We know he's a long kick. Kicks to the space. Lee Fisher gets back and takes the mark. So a poor result for a great mark.
So often the way players inspire themselves when they take a great mark and lose their cool. Milne, last minute of the third term. Gilbert has been good. Chips to open space. Fisher, wonderful courage. Spilt the mark. Gehrig battling against three. Collard sockers away, taken by Dodd. Good evasion, Dodd. Black, Pavlich. Pavlich runs beyond the wing. Kicks inside the forward 50. Wilt goes up. Seemed to hang on to the Fremantle player Campbell as they came to ground. Crowd, what a free kick. Nothing doing. Milne out of defence. And maybe this will be the last action of the term. Can't see another score coming up as Attard
Got the loose.
finds this man McWalter. McWalter short. Untidy kick. Clark outrun by McManus. Dying seconds. There's the siren for three-quarter time. And the umpires say no to Campbell's pleas. So at three-quarter time, Fremantle are being challenged. Can they regroup?
Because Andrew McWalter missed a very simple kick right on the three-quarter time. They turned the ball over. There was opportunity almost for Fremantle then to score. Ross Lyon then at quarter time went straight to Andrew McWalter, and there's no...
So here's Ross Lyon with Andrew McGraw at three-quarter time, with McGraw turning it over just before the three-quarter time siren.
He may have lost a little bit of faith in him. And also, don't forget, Robert Harvey off with a major hamstring injury. Maybe down in the midfield.
Start of the final term at Subi on Friday Night Football. Getting very high. Sandilands flicks it down, intended for McManus.
Knocked it out, well done.
Eventually it comes clear. Blake gave it to Clark. Hayes down towards half forward, and Revolt dragged off the football. Crashing in was Black, sliding in burst. And that ball effectively locked up. Paul Hazelby just strolling to the contest. 26 possessions to three-quarter time. And Sharon Heaven, he averages over 9 games, 26 possessions against the Saints. His best against any club, amazingly, with a high of just 31. When we say just, that's a model of consistency. Del Santo taken down. And the umpire behind the pair calls for it again.
Such an important goal, the first goal of the final quarter. if the Saints get it. Puts enormous pressure on the Dockers, who have been run over here this year in the last quarter.
Blake inside the forward 50. Johnson came up to meet it. Carr goes to ground to Hazelby.
Another one.
Clever. Rover comes away into the path of Bell, who's been wonderful, but this time the ball has no obedience and runs away and goes out of bounds.
Well, there's a mismatch. Bell being picked up there by Blake.
So it's a good record. In fact, they really launched their season on a Friday night here last year. It was deep in the season, round 14. The Dockers went into round 14, 6 and 7 and 10th on the table. Beat the Bombers and then went on the big winning run.
Well, the best thing here, if the Saints happen to get a goal, the crowd just slowly goes out.
Lee Fisher, revolt in the box seat. So just outside the 50, wants to go quickly, does. Ricks a target up forward. Gehrig doing the roving. Ricks to ball. Good tackle. Johnson was just terrific there. Comes back from Crowley to Grover, to Hazelby, to Johnson. Johnson through that corridor to Headland. So the Indigenous players were left, right and centre there. Headland out wide. Tarrant, great hands. He hasn't kicked for goal too well tonight, but he's taken some nice marks. And that was better. Who better to have it right now than Pavlich?
Well, that's how two forwards can combine in a forward line. We heard Harvey at three-quarter time for the Dockers say, don't get frustrated. Had to tell his forwards, if the supply's not coming in, keep doing what you know. That's presenting, and when you get your opportunity, grab it with both hands.
Well, can the money man do it again? He did for Dennis in the second quarter. He hasn't had a big night in terms of disposals, but this would be a third goal and a crushing blow, and he delivers. Carey would be happy. The captain's goal, eh?
Well, we saw the other captain at just before three-quarter time. Nick Revolt hit the post. Matthew Pavlich, he's just a wonderful player, takes his opportunities. And as I said before the game, give him half an inch and you know he'll take it. That's just working hard.
Great players find a way. Ricky Olorenshaw.
Yeah, injury concern for Fremantle with Des Headland came off the ground with a cork thigh, which he received in the third quarter. You can see there he's heavily bandaged on that right thigh. Looked very restricted in his running, so he's had to come off the ground.
Big turning point at the other end. Luke Ball had the football, tried to come back. Sometimes you have to do what's instinctive. He needed to kick it. It went all the way. Bell brings it away from the centre. Cook runs into trouble. Del Santo had him a long time. Diving in there was Clark. Over the football is Lee Fisher. Tries to dig it out. Hazelby. The look away hand pass. Carr. Put to ground by Crowley. Crowley held a long time. Oh, well played Sandilands. Came back to Matthew Carr. Penetrating kick. Fisher could have been held. Leads back in the race. Pavlich put him down. Tarrant will kick a goal and hit the goal umpire. It is a goal.
That goal umpire again. He's becoming a nuisance. Let's have a look at this.
This cross the line, do you think?
I don't know. Let's have a look. Ball comes in. Tarrant again.
Yep.
Because he's had more stats than a couple of the players out there this afternoon or this evening.
So the Dockers were so much of the handball. Your two key players for the Dockers at the start of the night have kicked the goals in the last quarter. They've now got 5 between them. Tarrant, who's been wayward tonight, but he's done his bit, and Pavlich. They are a good team, those two, aren't they?
Yep.
Sandilands out of the centre. Solomon chasing hard. Gets a second crack. Sprays it with the left. And that's going to be another story coming out of tonight. Solomon and Johnson's fate during the week.
Yes, and really good advice by Mark Harvey. You can't underestimate that, just to keep the forwards in control, and then all of a sudden they get a couple of opportunities they believe. Good work.
Very open forward line. Hayes in trouble, went to ground. Bell took him down, and it's holding the ball, I think. So much space around that boundary throw in.
What about the let it go, mate. You had a prior opportunity.
They had the chance. That is the classic prior opportunity. And Bell was lurking. 20 metres out. Hard to see the Saints getting back from here.
What a super player Peter Bell has been. Talk about captain standing up. Pavlich, he's an ex-captain and a wonderful player. Does all the hard work. He's one of the smallest on the ground. Well, he's the smallest on the ground, and he plays inches above his height. They're up and going now, the Dockers.
Bell probably pressing Hazelby for best on the ground, not much between them. And the three leading goal kickers for the Dockers going into this match, Pavlich, Tarrant and Bell, have kicked between them 8 goals as Clark comes off with the blood.
And Rex coming down, up from full forward. He'll take the centre bounce.
Well, here's one that Josh has pulled out. It's only the second time Peter Bell in his 260-game career has kicked 3 goals in consecutive weeks.
It's amazing, Josh.
And he's been a goal scorer, hasn't he? 4 in a grand final for the Kangas. And this is the big lead of the night so far, 87-46. So 3 last quarter goals from Pavlich, Tarrant and Bell. And now they're building. Right on cue, that Bell, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
McManus to Black. She's got good hands. Has Tarrant and then Black. Almost within range. Absolutely within range. Good player, Black.
Very, very good player. They just had a little bit of a sleeper during the third quarter. I don't know what Chris Connolly said to them at 3/4 time, but they've come out firing. And this bloke, Chris Tarrant, he's just getting better and better each week. And you caught it beautifully, Bruce. His hands have been sticky, and he's very sure, other than his kicking, he's been exceptional.
Well, on a night pockmarked with bad kicking, that was a beauty on the run. Heath Black.
Oh, he liked it.
And I think he understands what that does mean in the overall. It seems Fremantle are headed for their 4th victory of the season. Heath Black played 3 seasons and in 2 finals for the Saints. Quality player, 21 possessions tonight. Ricks and Sandilands. Sandilands has been terrific. To Carter, Bell, Hazelby. They've done far better inside this centre square. It's been their Achilles heel this year. Fiora, Ball. A birthday today. I doubt he'll be celebrating tonight. Down goes Kazitsky from the prone position. Got it to Lee Fisher to burst. Forward at the wing, inside the forward 50. And somehow, Fraser Gehrig simply lurking behind, takes the mark. It was like a drive-by mark.
Well, hopefully the forward coach came out to their forwards and said, you're not getting it, like they did with the Dockers. It'll come. Got to make the opportunities count, though.
This could be a milestone for Fraser. In he comes, and he misses. Had he kicked that, he would have been the 44th player to post. How many goals, Bruce?
500.
An elite band.
Well, just the forward lines are different, stages within goal kicking. Milne, Gehrig, Revolt, 2 goals between them. Pavlich, Tarrant and Bell, 8 goals.
And Gehrig's won 4 and Revolt's won 3 tonight.
Yeah. Not good enough, is it, by your key forwards? You've got to kick the goals.
They've had enough of the footy, particularly in Revolt's case, but I think Gehrig as well. He's just had a couple of hard shots. Bell's been just terrific. Thornton, back to Bell. He's always been great, but you feel like he's rejuvenated, don't you?
Well, the pressure of the captaincy off his shoulders.
Hayden to Pavlich. Speaking of captains, caresses the ball to half forward. Tarrant worked underneath it. Hayes will be. It's had a magnificent game. And just missing. It's a clever shot.
Yeah, the idea was right. Just missed it by a metre, but they're looking dangerous every time they go inside now with Tarrant and Pavlich just stepping up and leading to the footy.
Double the score, 94-47.
Tapping quickly. Baker, Fiora. And now Armitage is away. Boy from Queensland running down towards half forward, sets it up, going back. Ricks was held against Sandilands, 15 metres out.
Had an arm around.
Well, he hasn't even...
Arm around, yep, been pulled back.
Aaron Sandilands hasn't even argued with it. He was out of position. He hasn't got the most fluent kicking style here, Rick, so let's keep an eye on it.
Yes, inclined to bend the knee.
He's got the Michael Holding run up.
Then again, as we told you, a goal with his first kick in the AFL. Hasn't continued at that pace. Aiming at his second. Jabs at it, gets it. Well done.
Good work by Armitage Jen. Got it in long and got it in quick. And even when you're up against a guy that's 7 foot plenty, you've always got that opportunity because they are more worried about you than the football. Hasn't happened often enough for the Saints tonight. Hasn't gone in quick enough. And they're about the only shots that they can convert at the moment. 12 metres out, directly in front.
Centre clearance is in favour of the Dockers. Saints had a good run of that in the second term. Sandilands. Hayes punched it forward. Bell again to Mundy. Wide to Peak. He's made a good return, Peak. Injured against the Bombers in round 2 with a collarbone. And both he and Hayes have had promising returns to footy. Tarrant tried to turn Gwilt inside out. He stuck to his guns tonight, Gwilt.
He was beaten early, wasn't he?
His problem started when he got the ball.
Yeah.
I think once the team understands how these Pavlich and Tarrant thing can work, they could be a fantastic duo and could really tear opposition backlines apart.
Kosicki got a bit of a push from Campbell. Gwilt's little toe poke to Bell. Still with Bell. Baker's tackle, and then Dal Santos' handball is a good one.
They could be the Chad and Jeremy of the AFL. Blake dives forward, takes the mark. This is Hayes. Runs inside the centre square. Long probing kick deep inside the attacking zone. Grover just worked off Gehrig and in midair took a wonderful chest mark. All downhill from here. Thornton, good to see him back. On the outer side, a man waving frantically, wanting the ball. McFarlane spots Johnson, so athletic. One senses he'll have some problems this week and make a few headlines. Here's Matthew Carr, whose brother did last week. Forward of the wing, kicks inside the forward 50. Campbell will come from the side. Big leap almost to mark. Tarrant gets the crumb. Now it's easy.
It's a luxury. He's just an added bonus. I wonder what the Collingwood people are thinking at the moment, what they've let go. A really good finish there. They're probably the ones he needs. When he goes back and thinks about it, has trouble, but the snaps, no issue.
Well, he's finishing off a good night now, isn't he, Tarrant? First time since they beat the Demons, they've kicked 100 points this year, the Dockers, and that was in round 4. And that day it was Pavlich and Tarrant that were so good with Headland. It's only the second time this season that Saints have conceded 100. So a big night for the Dockers it's turned out. Solomon to Bell to Kosicki. I reckon Gilbert's been good.
Yeah, he's tried really hard all night.
Dal Santo to Voss, who's been on the interchange for a fair bit. Sweeps it wide to Burse, to Ball. Had a better second half, Burse too slow. Hayden just wrapped him up, and then Thornton towards the line, and Bell ran it over.
No awareness then by Burse. Didn't realise that the player was right behind him. And that's probably lack of talk by his teammates. You go into your shell a little bit when a side starts to get on top of you.
And he's trying to establish himself in this team. A lot of injuries for the Saints.
Lift Jade in as well, Matty.
Hazelby and Bell, 60 between them, dominating in the disposals.
Yeah, they're big numbers.
So Burst getting a chance with the injuries, but just struggling to make a mark.
Bumped forward, but only as far as Mundy. In trouble. Gilbert continues to work hard. Burse slides in. Over the top was Dodd, and again the ball wedged in amongst those arms and legs. And a bounce. There's Peter Bell, 29 possessions. Got his 29th with some quick hands back in the centre moments ago, and I think Quasimodo was exhausted. Ring those bells. Stuffed inside the 50 once more. Well, they're just trying everything now, the Saints, just forcing it forward, hoping they're playing for luck. Ball on his knees, pulls it back. Awkward one. And taken away by McFarlane. The Saints out of the pocket, centred the ball, but there was nothing on for them. There goes the kick from Solomon around the outer side. Voss tracks it towards the boundary. A little sleight of hand, if you don't mind. Came back to Solomon. Jabbed forward around the outer side by Campbell. Pavlich tries to knock it forward. Fisher stood up in the tackle, did well. Kaczynski, and now Del Santo.
Found some space in the end. To Blake, to Fisher, back to Fiora, inboard to Blake, back to Fiora. They've set this up pretty well. Fiora to Revolt. Oh, well done by Dodd. Revolt had actually cleverly positioned himself for the ball over the back, but Dodd stretched and did it so well. Grover takes the mark.
Got on top now. The defence for the Dockers.
The Saints have had a red-hot go tonight.
They have. But when you look at the scoreboard too, 25 shots from Fremantle, 23 for St Kilda, a goal.
They just got blown away at the start of the final term, didn't they?
Yep. Scoreboard pressure, though, is so important in football. You just can't miss that many opportunities and expect to stay in the game. It's one of the arts of football that just hasn't improved. And I think with the players and clubs just focusing in on getting fit, you lose that goal-kicking practice. Not enough players practice it anymore. The kick to kick and the jack in the pack, and learn all the skills from just having a bit of fun.
So Dodd now finally going forward.
Johnson.
It's a big story with him tonight.
Crowley. Well, he's been suspended once already for that head-high bump in the pre-season. Crowley comes back. Intended there for Mundy. Mundy's arms were chopped by Voss. And Mundy will take the free kick. Under 8.5 minutes till full time. Mundy goes out very wide. Johnson is a wonderful young talent. Has this on the 50. Well, in two minds, eventually called the play on. Tarrant could have been held, went to ground. Crowley is held, in trouble. Feeds it back, taken by Solomon. Armitage got him. Burst hurriedly, too long. Out of bounds on the fall. And the kick will be taken by Johnson once more. Cook is on. Johnson spotted him, and in his haste got himself into trouble. He's met very solidly and threw the football in the interim.
This is one part of the game that Chris Conn will be really happy with. Their forward line pressure, the ball coming out, made it pretty hard.
Nick Revolt at half-back to Gehrig, so half-back almost a centre wing. Revolt to Gehrig.
One of the favourites here, big phrase.
2 goals, 7 between them tonight.
Well, he's looking up the ground, he goes, I've got nothing to go to. Well, Fraze, that's your position where you would want to be kicking it to, so either yourself or Revolt has to get down there.
Terrible kick by Fiora. Lee Fisher, and now Sam Fisher to help out. High ball to full forward. Kosicki had a fair go at it. Campbell back inboard, out of play, and appealing for deliberate frost, but nothing happening. 39,000 tonight. So a great turn up, close to capacity. Docker's biggest home crowd this year, but for the derby.
There's ball once more, deep in the pocket. Trusts his instincts this time and narrowly misses. Behind.
Saints midfielders just don't kick enough goals, do they?
No, they've only got, I think, the one this evening, and the Dockers 6 through the midfield.
Carr, McFarlane on the overlap, up towards the wing, taken by Pavlich. Johnson is off the ground. Warm applause. This is Hayden Tarrant through the centre of the ground. Just too tall for the leading Tarrant, taken by Quilp. And now Sam Fisher decides to run it around the outer side. Blake is on. He goes to him now. Blake has got it, can turn and run. Well, I think Quasimodo was hallucinating now. Inside the forward 50, going back. McFarlane spilt it. Dives after it, and the ball jarred across the line.
What a poor kick going inside 50 there. Had two players, and he kicked it straight to the Fremantle player. We talked about kicking to advantage. Fraser just having a rest. Milne having a rest. We spoke about them before the game. Not enough output again by those two players.
Revolt in the pocket.
As he's tried all night.
Kosicki, Dodd, ball, and a ball up. Who are your top four tonight, Ox? Who have you going for?
Got Hazelby in there. Well, he's had his 31 touches. Peter Bell, he's had 29 and 3 goals. Nick Revolt, well, he's tried all day. He's had 21 and he's taken 9 marks. And Big Sandilands, well, he's been excellent. Very good form.
Blake builded it back. Grover to get it. Dennis, an answer to question. Quasimodo is ringing the bell when he comes off the interchange now, runs back onto the ground.
Is that what he's doing? I expect to go into the crowd, Bruce, and find Marty Feldman.
So Black short to Mundy.
Mundy to Solomon. Solomon across the face finds Mundy. Mundy, the short one, comes to Black. I'm not ruling out McFarlane. Goes back to it. And the crowd getting a little restless now. It was a slow week in the committee household this week, and I've come to some sort of conclusion about this sort of football, and the fact the Saints kicked 6-8 last week. Solomon's got it. What about if we only count points for? Forget about percentage and points against, and just points for, and reward enterprise and scoring, and encourage Fremantle in this situation maybe to go forward. There's Hayden who has other ideas.
I like it, Den. I like it.
Well, Hayden didn't like the idea, obviously. He goes back to McFarlane. No lines on the ground, maybe change, tinker with the interchange, but leave the game pretty much as it is and find ways to do it necessarily off the ground.
Could you put all that down on paper for us?
Just a book entry, Bruce, that's all it is. Pavlich, oh, here we go. Two nice guys. Pavlich and Sam Fisher.
Well, the Saints, they've only kicked 12 goals in 2 weeks, Bruce. It's not enough, is it? 12 goals in 2 weeks.
Well, they've had some problems on the road too, kicking goals. The Saints away from Melbourne this year. But they've had a lot of shots for goal tonight. Black inside. Sandilands almost good mark taken by Kosicki.
If it was points only for Dennis, St. Kilda have been almighty trouble.
Well, that's what they've done.
Finals time.
So be it.
It's what they've done with soccer overseas. They've got rid of the against being important in terms of the difference. They go for the goals for. But we'll have to think about it, Dennis.
Get back to me, Bruce.
Good. Anything's better than what we saw 5 minutes ago, though.
And certainly last week. I mean, St Kilda were just trying to buy time until they got some players back.
Clark to McWalter.
Oh,
Gee, Black.
See, This is where Fremantle have got to be really careful. It's great to be aggressive. It's great to do that. But I reckon...
Fence, let's just throw it in and get on with it, eh?
I reckon that they've just got to bring it back 5 or 10%.
So Del Santo, Dodd, good mark. He's a good player. You have it to be a very good player to beat him. And Revolt's had a lot more of the footy, but Dodd's made a lot of good contests tonight and pushed him wide. Solomon from Thornton.
Solomon inside the centre square. One fancies an incident involving Solomon early in the game will be closely looked at as well. Campbell found it on the ground. Wonderful dexterity, then he misses. So nimble for a man that size.
Yeah, really good play when the ball hit the ground. I want to ask you about Justin Kazitsky, Dennis. Is he a forward, ruckman? What is he?
I like him on the forward line. But, of course, they've got two players they consider better forwards.
Yeah, I'm just not sure where he's at, where he fits in at the moment. He's a wonderful player, and I'm a big fan of his, but not sure where he fits in.
Milne through the centre. Just watching Justin tonight, I'm not sure he's that well orientated on the forward line. A couple of times he seemed in position A to go for marks as Revolt leads again to the football and somehow has lost himself in mid-air. He hasn't made the most of his opportunities in a marking situation.
Well, we saw that last year too, and he had awful trouble with that.
Well, he got a heavy hit tonight.
Yeah.
You just wonder perhaps what that means. So I reckon there's probably been 3 or 4 occasions where it was clearly his mark to take.
Yep.
And he just mistimed his jump completely. But he's a wonderful athlete, as is this man, Nick Revolt. In he comes, fixed him as well. Nick, I'm sorry.
Not good enough. Not good enough. And he'll be bitterly disappointed with that. And Ross Lyon would be too. He needs to get out on the track and work really hard, and he does, but needs to kick those goals.
So Dodd ran it out. So another 50-point game, it looks like, for the Saints, and there's been too many of them. We saw that stat a moment ago. Those 2 matches on the road were the low scores of the round in Brisbane and in Adelaide. Dodd forward on, great mark Fisher against the flow. He's another very good competitor. Talking about Dodd at one end. So the 2 25s have a bit in common, don't they?
No structure up forward here for the Saints.
Travel!
Well, I'm not going to blame the boy for this because he had nothing inside attacking 50. They had no structure.
So just going too far, but he's showing some good signs as Armitage. Mundy. Sandilands. I'm going to ask you a question, Dennis, just like the Ox, but do you think the Dockers are poised to make another charge?
Not sure about that, Bruce. There's a lot of things that still worry me about the Dockers. A couple of times tonight I just felt they were right for the picking, but the Saints couldn't push them over the edge. Mixing my metaphors. Here's Grover.
But they've got the win they needed, haven't they? So they go up to the same 4 and 5 that the Saints will be tonight. Just outside the 8. Gilbert's kick to space. Fisher running on, and running out. Well, no wonder he's had it. Like us, his ears are ringing. Wasn't he good, Bill?
He's wonderful all night.